Are steps being taken to remove Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon from WWE 2K24? We also take a look at AEW's Cash Wheeler's ongoing charges, and an absent AEW star is making his New Japan in-ring debut. Who could it be? Crammy River. We'll find out in the wrestling news. Hello everybody, Jack and Fraser here with more wrestling news. We took a big deep dive into the Rock and Cody Rhodes situation.
We
all
did.
That sort of stuff going on earlier today on this very channel. But one, and I think very valid thing that a lot of people have been saying about the situation is that it has taken attention away from the ongoing allegations made against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis and the WWE, the lawsuit filed against them by Janelle Grant, which is obviously very, very important indeed. It's just one of those things, I guess, where from our point of view, where we're obviously going to update the news whenever more news becomes available, but sometimes we're waiting for something to happen, we're waiting for a lull. Whereas in this case, we're going to be talking about it. News has come out from a slightly different angle of this story.
It's kind of adjacent to it. If anyone saw, WWE 2K24 had released a new trailer yesterday that showed some of the gameplay. Of course, the game comes out in about a month's time. Now, previously featured on the limited edition cover of the game for the 40 years of WrestleMania game mode, which had like artwork of major stars that have been involved in WrestleMania. Now, one name that was on there was Brock Lesnar. He was quite prominently featured on that. In this new trailer, at the end, they showed the artwork of the game, being like, you can pre-order now. It was a very notable absence. He had been removed from that cover and he was replaced by John Cena, who previously was on the cover, but in a much smaller role. He has now taken Brock Lesnar's spot on that artwork.
Right.
It looks like they are taking steps to remove him from the involvement of that.
It would seem so. And for those who don't know, this is because Brock Lesnar wasn't mentioned by name in the lawsuit, but there's a person in the lawsuit heavily implied to be Brock Lesnar because it says a former UFC heavyweight champion who WWE were trying to re-sign to a deal around the time these things are alleged to happen.
Of course.
And that he's literally the only person in the world who fits that description.
Wall Street Journal named him in their article that they reported on the original lawsuit and said that sources told them it was Brock. It was allegedly Brock Lesnar. He wasn't named in the lawsuit.
He was since pulled from the Royal Rumble as well and seems to have been removed from the road to WrestleMania and all that sort of stuff. So that's the reason for that. Vince McMahon's obviously the central figure at the heart of these allegations. And Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio says that steps are underway to remove Vince from the video game as well, amid allegations of you can read about it online if you want.
It would be it would be a tough thing to do, I guess, to remove him from the game in a sense of a game mode that's celebrating 40 years of WrestleMania. Unfortunately, he is so linked with that event. It will be, with a month to release, the game is very likely about to go gold and start printing on discs. Now, obviously, they've still got a month of work on updates, but to remove Vince McMahon from the game, it's the right thing to do. I just don't know how achievable that would be for them. The same for Brock Lesnar. If they're removing him from the cover, it kind of does suggest that they're also trying to remove traces of him from the game. Again, how many, with a game mode that has multiple matches from 40 years of WrestleMania, he's likely in quite a few of them. We've seen over the past 10 years of WrestleMania, myself and Aidan Gibbons, our editor-in-chief at Cultaholic, were discussing it, and he's in quite a lot of major matches that they might want to have used in that mode.
Oh yeah, and he was the wrestler who ended the Undertaker's streak, for example. So
exactly,
yeah, we'll have to see how they do. Best of luck to 2K if they are indeed trying to remove Lesnar from the game as well, which it doesn't seem like it's been confirmed, but the fact that you mentioned earlier, the promotional material, switcheroo and everything.
Absolutely, and they have removed him from the 2K Supercard game. Me and Adam discussed that last week. So there are steps on a 2K scale to remove him from already present games.
Fair enough. Switching over now to a wrestler signed with AEW, of course, around this time, around 6 months ago, around the time that AEW came to London.
Yes, around August-ish time.
Yes, we had a story involving Cash Wheeler. Many thought he's not going to be allowed to fly. In the end, he was, but this is because he got in a bit of trouble with the law, and that we've got an update on that right now.
Yeah, so as Jack mentioned, Wheeler was arrested back in July of 2023 after a road rage incident involving a weapon and another party. A warrant was filed for his arrest, and then he pleaded not guilty on August 3rd. He was released on bond for $2,500 and turned in any weapons he owned. Well, last Thursday, prosecutors decided to move forward with the case, and a hearing is set to take place on Tuesday, February 20th. Now, Florida law does call for a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison or 5 years probation, plus a $5,000 fine, which is all applicable for first-time offenders. Now, outside the initial arrangement, Wheeler has yet to speak publicly on the matter. Now, it was an ongoing situation situation, and as Jack mentioned in the run-up to All In, it was a case of, oh my God, he might not be able to make it across. What do they do in that situation? Is he going to be pulled from AEW TV? But I guess we will find out more come February 20th.
Yes, absolutely. So it seems like there's various different things that could happen there. There could be a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison or 5 years probation, as you've said. I don't know whether if he got the sort of the more lenient sentence, would he still be allowed to travel as much as he? I don't have a clue about Florida law.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but you would imagine on a probation, it would either be a case of staying within the country, especially for something that's maybe a weapons charge.
Yeah.
We would assume something like that, but we're not sure. That's speculation.
Fair enough. Elsewhere, I was going to say another major name in AEW, but she hasn't been in AEW.
No,
she was a major name in the NWA.
Yes.
Camille. We have a bit of a career update regarding her. PW Insider has given an update on her. Now her NWA contract has expired, saying, "We can confirm that at this time, Camille is no longer expected to be WWE bound. While there had been interest, and according to one WWE source in the past, she had been offered an NXT deal, PW Insider Elite can confirm that those discussions are not moving forward." I'm surprised.
It's kind of a shock, right? She seems sort of ready-made for WWE and ideal in terms of her look and her style, and the fact that for a while it felt quite a natural fit in terms of, they're in discussions. She's out of NWA. She obviously will be going to NXT because she's been offered that deal, but it looks like that's not what's happening.
No, PW Insider instead say they are told that Camille has been in deep discussions with AEW, and that promotion has been seen as the stronger destination for her, as it would allow her to pursue another major personal goal moving forward, additional acting work. And she will indeed have a feature role in the upcoming biopic on the life of women's wrestling trailblazer Mildred Burke.
Yeah, so I guess the AEW schedule does allow that a little bit more. In NXT, I guess it's more of a full-time training. She'd be in developmental, and then WWE schedule is a bit busier, especially with the live events and live event loops and such. I think she'd fit really well into AEW's women's division at the moment. She'd certainly make an immediate impact.
Yes, I think so as well. But I think that might have also been the case in WWE.
In WWE, I guess
maybe. Since they brought in Jade Cargill, also a tall, very dominant physical presence. Yeah. Maybe that would have taken away some of the uniqueness of Camille. I don't know, because she would go into NXT. You know NXT better than me, Jack. Do you think she would fit in that division quite well? I think anybody would fit in NXT.
Would fit in NXT. It's great. Chase you.
Speaking of NXT, a report from PW Insider has revealed that the crowd at last night's NXT event were told off for using bad language and were advised by staff to not use F-bombs. WrestleOps has claimed that this was to such an extent that people in the crowd were told that the show would be taken off the air if the chants continue.
Don't say naughty words at wrestling shows, because it can get the show. It was very loud.
Honestly, right, sometimes we joke on the podcast about the NXT greenhouse because it's full of plants. This clearly wasn't full of plants, no.
I mean, the fact that the crowd in unison were swearing quite a bit at Carmelo Hayes.
There was a lot of heat for Carmelo Hayes, obviously. He came out at the start of the show and was about to explain why he turned on Trick Williams and then went, no, not yet, and walked off.
Yep.
So obviously the next time he came out to do it, he got so much heat. But also Dijak was in for a lot. Just any heel, really. The crowd were particularly boisterous.
Crowd were hostile after what happened at Vengeance Day, and I can understand why.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're all behind Trick, so I guess Carmelo is going to get the heat there.
Yeah, I was confused. Sometimes I couldn't quite work out what they were saying, or I was trying to recognize the melody, and it was like a totally new one. They were also a very inventive crowd, as well as a foul-mouthed one, so fair play to them.
I mean, great work on the crowd there, but yeah,
they were dancing. There was a group of them on the hard camera, just having a great time.
They were doing full Daniel Garcia dancing.
More like I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Maybe they were. This was wild. They were all having a go at Dijak, not even Carmelo Hayes, but Carmelo obviously got the worst of it later on.
So do more dancing in crowds, less F words.
Fair play to Carmelo. He plowed through, and he didn't really let it affect him one bit. Whereas the segment earlier with Ilya and Dijak, they were a little bit like rattled. Dijak could kind of go "shut up" to the crowd, but then he had to carry on with his awfully scripted promo. So it was hard, in my opinion.
I think it made Melo look like a star having all that.
Yeah, it did.
Chants aimed at him.
He's got to be pleased with that. You had so much heat, they threatened to take the show off the air because the crowd was so angry. That's brilliant. Yeah.
When have we had that?
Well,
Shawn Michaels?
I am suspicious about this, Fraser.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you watch NXT, is this a deliberate... Are these planted, badly behaved fans, or am I just being totally ridiculous
No,
here?
I think they're... I don't think these are part of your greenhouse. I think these are genuine
I didn't hear them swearing that much.
NXT diehards.
I don't know if they were. They were kind of doing little songs like, "Oh, Trick's gonna get you." No, it wasn't. No,
Trick's gonna get you.
No, but it wasn't. I can't remember now.
Well, watch it back and you'll find out all the naughty things they said on that almost took it off the air.
There was definitely some songs and melodies that I had. Anyway, I don't really know.
Analyze it on the podcast this week, Jack.
Yeah.
Big discussion.
Were they real fake plants?
Yeah.
Who knows? Gunther, by the way, wants to face Kazuchika Okada, according to a recent interview he did with Nick Hausman, saying, "I think Okada is fantastic. I always loved Japanese wrestling. When I grew up in professional wrestling, understanding everything, I always enjoyed Japanese wrestling the most. I was more of an All Japan guy than a New Japan guy, to be honest. But yeah, he's one of the best in the world, and if he joins WWE, he's very welcome to. And I think he finds great competition here. That'll be a great match."
Yes, please. If he does join WWE, give us that at WrestleMania, please, because that would be maybe the biggest match that you could have for Gunther.
Yeah,
that's
maybe
not a world title match, and having Okada come in and do that would be really, really cool. I just don't think we're going to see it.
No, do you not think so?
No,
Well,
I think he's going straight to NXT to join Chase U.
I was about to say, I think the reason this story has followed the NXT one in the notes is because there's been teasers and vignettes on NXT recently. The Three Faces vignettes,
Yeah.
which is like apparently an old Japanese saying, which is like a man has three faces, one that he shows the world, one that he shows his family and friends, and one that he never shows, and that's the evil one. And who's it going to be? You seem to think Kazuchika Okada.
No, I think he's going to AEW. I think he's going to AEW. I don't know who this person could be on NXT, but
I don't know
we'll
either.
find out soon.
It would be really funny if Kazuchika Okada, one of the best wrestlers of the modern era, was immediately started off on NXT. That would be really funny.
Yeah, one of the greatest of all time, I would say.
Yeah, you're in a match now with Riley Osborne for a place in Chase University. Oh, I hope I can do it. I hope I can beat him. That was Okada there.
That was Okada, of course.
Preparing for his match with Riley Osborne. Oh, man. Riley Osborne last night as well. He lost a match because he looked into the crowd at the Chase U section. Tia wasn't there. And he went, "Where is she?
What's she doing?"
And then he got beaten by Lexis King, and then backstage he was like, "Where were you, Tia?" But JC James told Tia to play it cool, play
of
hard to
course.
get. No,
Yeah.
not of course. They're already Valentine's Day dates. Yeah, they've already agreed to that.
Well, you didn't, yeah.
And then he went, "Oh, right." And she went, "Yeah, sorry, I was busy doing grown woman stuff." And then he went, "Well, are we still on for Valentine's Day?" And she went, Yeah. And he turned away from her and went, "Yes." So it was brilliant.
You love NXT. You've got to love NXT. Yeah.
And finally, a controversial AEW star is about to make a New Japan in-ring debut, Fraser.
Yes, well, after ripping up his AEW contract at a recent New Japan show, it's been confirmed that Jack Perry will be in action at Windy City Riot on April 12th. His opponent has not yet been announced, but this will be Perry's first match since his It's Real Glass Crimea River match with Hook at All Out at Wembley Stadium, which is also his first match in New Japan.
Yes, he's been involved. He's jumped the guardrail and stuff and been part of an angle in New Japan. But this is his first match in New Japan. And a certain Ward Dog wasn't happy about this. Not Wardlow, but New Japan's Gabriel Kidd, who tweeted, "Someone tell Jack Perry that if he wants to get in a scrap backstage, I'll see him in Chicago. Little rat. Can't get booked by your own boss, so you turn up to our shows."
Whoa, that is Prince Amin's butler telling him that. You know, like
He's come a long way.
servant.
He's come a long
He has
way.
come a long way. He's up there with
absolutely.
Jack Perry. This match would be great to see.
I think
both
so.
of them very, very good in the ring. I feel like I'm torn on who I want to win, though, because I like Gabriel Kidd, but Jack Perry, I feel like he needs to win that.
Yeah, that's a strange one, and it'll be interesting to see where Jack Perry stands in sort of the New Japan pecking order, even though he's only just arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, very
He's
interesting
brand new.
indeed. I'm wondering when he'll get back to AEW as well, but yes, we'll have to
that
wait.
cracking?
We'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much for watching this news video, and as I mentioned, we have a big bumper one on The Rock and Cody Rhodes and all
Cody
that
Rhodes
stuff,
stuff.
which should be out on the channel already. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below, and thank you very much once again for watching. I've been Jack, this has been Fraser, and we'll see you very soon.